the camera?
No, just look straight
Okay.
at me.
Okay.
Just have a conversation.
All right. Sounds good.
Try to ignore everything.
Everybody else?
All right, so first question, tell me who you are and what you drove on the rally.
So I'm John White, and I drove a 2018 McLaren 570S that Mike pressured me into buying to go on the rally.
So you bought it just to go on the rally?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I bought it in the beginning of March. Got my guy back home in Pittsburgh to do the full expel wrap on it, and it was on a trailer as soon as I received it back from the wrap, and it came out to AW Design, one of the sponsors of the rally, to get tuned and exhaust. So yeah, this was like the first time actually driving the car.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. I mean, it was, you know, to be in a brand new car and feel it out on these types of roads, it's where you want to be. Last year, I brought my R8 out. I went and visited Mike, and I was like, okay, I was hooked. I mean, West Coast roads, they're built for supercars. Supercars are built for West Coast roads. East Coast, not so much. Yeah.
How long do you know Mike?
So Mike and I met back in 2000. So 21 years. It's legal to drink how long we've known each other, which is pretty awesome to think about. Yeah, we met through the car scene, believe it or not. I ran a company that was focused on street racing and automotive stuff back in East, and he and I met on this online forum, and next thing I know, he shows up to the same college that I'm at. And it was pretty wild. So we lived a dorm away from each other. We were both addicted to cars, and that's it. We've been friends ever since.
That's awesome. Andrew and I met on an online forum as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, so it sounds weird when you say it, but when I said it, it wasn't as weird.
When you said it, it sounded really professional.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, it was wild. I met him, and he was from Central PA, and I was from Pittsburgh area, and he came in like a bat out of hell in his Honda Prelude with this stupid exhaust on it and intake. And the one time even I fronted him like $300 to put a Zex nitrous kit on the thing, and it was a piece, man. It was something.
I actually can definitely picture Mike in a Honda Prelude with a Zex.
Supra wing on this thing too. I mean, it had the big whale tail on it. I mean, he was riced out to the gills. Yeah, so he's had some doozies over the years.
Did you ever think he would go from that to this?
Well, so, you know, when I met Mike, he and I kicked it off. And I mean, it was the cars, but his entrepreneurial spirit, like the way he was and like the way he never quits, is really what kind of drew us together. I mean, we've done a lot of dumb stuff over the years. Like, we've tried stuff, some individually, some, you know, together, and it's always worked out one way or the other, whether it's businesses or cars or goofing off, whatever. And, you know, he and I hit it off that way, and we've kind of, you know, we were in college in those years, we were pretty inseparable, and it was wild. I mean, cars actually brought us back together then, and rallies actually brought us back together, and which is even crazier to think. So in 2018, I got accepted. I bought this Porsche 911. I was selling my company, so I always wanted a 911. Bought this 911 Turbo, and I got accepted to go to this rally on the East Coast, and I didn't have anybody to go with. And I called him up, and I didn't talk to him really on the phone probably 4 or 5 years before that. And I called him up. I said, "Hey, I'm going on this rally. You want to go?" He's like, "When is it?" Like July 2nd. He's like, "Well, I'm in the Grand Canyon that day, but I'll fly to Toronto where you're heading off, and we'll go." So we did. So he met me in Toronto. I picked him up, and we went on the first rally, and then we were addicted. And so me buying the McLaren comes back to him buying a McLaren, because I bought this McLaren to do this rally. He bought a McLaren after our first rally. And so he calls that the most expensive rally he's ever been on, and I'll call this one the most expensive rally I've ever been on. Because we got back after doing driving my 911, he's like, "I'm going to McLaren Philadelphia." And I'm like, "Dude, that's gonna be an expensive day." And he came home with a 650 that he took on the rally today, or this week. So pretty wild.
That's amazing.
Full circle, man.
It is about the friendship, though.
Yeah.
Cars are just secondary to that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Like, the rally in general, like, I love the people. You know, and this rally being 40 cars, somewhere around there, was perfect. You knew everybody. And there's some rallies we've been on 120 cars, and at the end of the week, you're like, man, I never even saw that person. I never talked to them. I never had lunch with them. This rally being tight, you got to really meet the people, know everybody. I like that there was a lot of wives on this, because sometimes you'll just get a lot of the guys, and you're meeting the wives and spending time with them was awesome to kind of get their world full circle. So it was super cool.
It's funny to me, we talk about this in the car world all the time. It's like how you'll know people for a long time, many years.
Yeah.
And you'll never go to their house. You don't even know what town they're from, right?
Yeah. Well, back in the day, and like still to this day, I know people's screen names. I don't know their real names. Like Mike was Zexlude. When I met him, it was Zexlude. And then he turned into Darkstar because he bought this Talon. And so he turned into Darkstar, but I still call him, and like when I refer to him back home, it's Zexlude 69 and Darkstar was his names. And like that's who I can refer to him. And that's it. I mean, like there's a lot of buddies that's all I know is their screen names.
First of all, I'm 1000% only referring to him as Zexlude 69.
Yeah. Zexlude, I'm pretty sure Zexlude 69 was his first one. He had something before that, but I can't remember what it was. I'll think about it. I know it was Zexlude 69, and then it was Darkstar after that. And that was like his persona. If you Google Darkstar, you'll find all the dumb stuff. And if you saw, I don't know if you saw the profiles that he made, he called me John Slow Car White. You can find hours of videos and like posts of him making fun of me over the years, and they're absolutely hysterical. He'd stay up till 3 a.m. writing scripts for like the animated cartoons, and they were just absolutely like laying me out and hysterical. Funny stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you see LongTail going in the future?
That's one of those things that you know, where I'd like them to go and where they're going to go is maybe two different feelings. I love the smallness of this rally, but this isn't going to be small anymore. The pictures, the comments that we're getting, a lot of my buddies back home in Pittsburgh, they're asking me like, how's it going? You know, how did it go? And when I come back, awesome, show a few pictures, I'm going on the next one. I'm going on the next one. So I'd like it to be, you know, small. I like the intimacy of it, but I know it's going to get bigger and get crazier. But I think this is going to be something that he built a brand in a quick week. It was a quick week in a rally term, but not in a quick week in work term. But it's definitely going to be the new staple in the United States for sure.
And in the future, we talked about this. One of the things that's scary is that maybe the people that came on the first one are the clique, and then everyone else is outside.
Yeah.
Of that. But it seems like with Mike and with you guys and everybody, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. So the whole precipice of this whole rally came on our first rally. And we were at this hotel in Cherokee, Tennessee, something like that. And we experienced that because this rally was going on for a lot of years. And Mike and I, we came on this rally, we knew nobody. We got in my Porsche, we showed up. And there was a ton of cliques, and there was people that were driving together, and there was people that didn't talk to you. And like the whole part of this rally was to be the exact opposite of that. And we saw it really early on, and so I'm pretty sure Mike will make sure that that does not happen. And in this rally, the profiles and seeing everybody's cars and like kind of being open with the app right away, I think broke the ice. And I don't think he'll let that happen, whether it's 40 cars, 80 cars, 180 cars. I think it's still gonna have some intimacy to it for sure.
Brand new 570 to you.
Yep.
Favorite moment in the car on the rally?
I think when we were driving to the Cars and Coffee, so pre-rally, so day 0, we were driving to the Cars and Coffee, and I just picked that car up at PFS after it was getting stickered, and I never really drove it, and so we're going to the Cars and Coffee, and I got on it at the first light, and it shot my phone off of the mount back at me, and I was like, holy crap, this thing's fast. Like that was like, to me, like the butterflies, everything was there, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to do everything else. So That was probably like my key moment of that whole car, just kind of that whole life of that car for sure.
Favorite road?
When we came up from Santa Barbara up the one, by far my favorite road. So it was Alex, me, Mike behind me. Always, he's always behind me. Actually, I don't know if you saw it. My license plate frame says "Hi Mike" on the top of it for a reason, because he's always behind me. Today, in the picture going down the street, I let him go ahead of me. It's very rare. It was photographed. It'll probably be in an art museum or a National History Museum one day, automotive history, something like that. But yeah, we were driving down the one and just Alex was ripping and leading the way, and it was a blast. It was gorgeous scenery. The roads were awesome. We didn't have a lot of traffic. It was beautiful.
It's kind of unfair, but if you had to trade your brand new to 570 for something in the parking lot, what would it be?
Something in the parking lot right this second? You know, I love that GT40. I mean, like, or the Ford GT. I love that car. The look of it is amazing. We saw the Fords in the rearview mirrors a lot, you know, so it was good to see them back there, and it was always pretty cool to see them. But yeah, I love that car. 765. You know, this was the first time I saw one in person when we got the start of the rally, and that car is gorgeous. So, like, for sure, that'll be the next one. I love Ian's 600 LT. I followed that around the track today. The aerodynamics of that, I mean, we're almost the same engine, different turbos between the 570 and the 600. And that car, I mean, it pulled the handling. You could see the aero actually working. It was pretty impressive to follow around. So I'd be happy with any of those, 765, 600, or the GT.
Awesome. That's it, man.
Great.
Easy.
Perfect. Zexlude, remember that.